What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. It is the 7th day of August. It's a brand new day today, and here we are at about $115,000, just below there, with 23 hours, 21 minutes left in the day. Now, I say the 7th of August. Someone asked a question about this. They're like, when does the new day start? Because it's still the 6th where I'm at. Well, it is the 6th where I'm at even. It's, if, for anybody in the Western Hemisphere of the world, it is still the 6th. But this is based in UTC time. So just to answer this question real quick, when the new Bitcoin day starts, it's 8 p.m. UTC, or Eastern time. It's 6 p.m. Mountain time, and it is 4 p.m. Pacific time. Work it out from any other time zone that you're in. That will change with daylight savings. It'll fall back an hour, but now that we've gotten that out of the way, it revolves around UTC. So 0 hour, 0 that's UTC time. That's the new day for Bitcoin. Whoever chose that, I don't know, but that's just what it is. $115,000 now. We had a little bit of a move up yesterday, about 0.7% to the upside. We also had a little bit of a move down, right? It was a pretty volatile day overall. We moved down to start the day, moved up, and then we came back down. Like, pretty volatile day, staying in this area. Another day above $113,000, which is a pretty significant thing to do, because from a relative low here to a relative high there, we have yet again closed above the 382. The 382 has prevailed. And not only that, we back tested it for support and continued to move up. That was a rather good answer to the prior day's movement up, or movement down. The only thing that I don't like is we do kind of have a sizable wick up here, and it does promote a kind of bearish scenario. But hold on, I don't think that we're going to get that bearish scenario, but I do want to go over it. Okay, looking at this here, looking at the 1 hour time frame. Should I use the 1 hour? I think the 1 hour is fine. Yeah, there is this setup, very obvious setup for an M pattern. For those of you that don't know, an M pattern essentially is like a double top, right? You get two tops, two peaks, double top right there. And once you go below the mid peak here, you effectively will open the gates to going to prices that are below this low. Typically, M patterns finish just below where they begin, whatever the proper word would be. And then you can either move up from there, you can move up slowly, you can move up and then move down. It doesn't have to be the end of it. Whatever the option may be, that's not relevant. What's relevant is that going below this here would signal that we probably go below this here. There are failed M patterns, in which case you don't actually go below that low, and then you reverse pretty quickly. But I don't necessarily believe that we're going to see an M pattern, because again, there's two scenarios. And this doesn't help us, because not only do we have an M pattern set up right now, where we're potentially in that last leg of the M pattern, but if we look at the 4 hour time frame, we also have a W pattern. And we're potentially in the last leg of that W right now. All we have to do is get above the middle point here, which we almost did, but we found resistance. So is it a W? Is it an M? We're going to find out soon enough, I guess. And if we were to go lower, looking at this on the liquidations, let's see, let's refresh this here. Looking at this here, I think the longs, you just saw it, replay it. The longs were actually above the shorts over the past 24 hours from my last video. They're still above the shorts now. We can still move up higher, because this is just the 1 day time frame, right? 30-day time frame. The shorts are eclipsing the longs. We've got like $19 billion in shorts to be liquidated just at 120K, 127K. About 17 billion at 123K, right? There is a little bit of liquidity available, a liquidation zone at about $113.8 thousand. So it's very possible that we go down there, $113.8 thousand. But that doesn't mean that we're seeing this M pattern come to fruition, right? We could go down here and then come up. Maybe it's not a W or an M. It just has that look right now for either of those outcomes. And instead, we're in some kind of channel moving to the upside. We come to the base of this range and then continue to do, something like that. Time will tell. We'll see what goes on. But let's look at the short-term stuff, see if we can divulge more information. I personally do think that we're going to move up higher. I really do think that we're going to move up higher. I don't think that we're going to move below this low. I think at this point in time, the further up we move, the more I am convinced of this being a low. If you want to invalidate this low, basically all you'd have to do is get below this price. And when I say get below it, I'd want to see a 4 hour time frame close below that 4 hour closing low there, which is, that's at 112.9K. On that note, also of 112.9K, we do have another day. I don't know if I said this already, but we have another day that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, I think. or no, four days in a row. We're on the 5th day, closing above the 382, this area here. 113K, we closed below it, closed back above it. That was a very serious and powerful reversal signal there. Reversing what? Reversing the downtrend. So reversal signal suggesting we go higher. Not only did we reverse this, we had a bullish engulfing candle, which is very bullish to the idea that this is the low. We also back tested the 382, not yesterday, but 2 days ago on the 5th for support, and we've moved up. We basically ate up all of the 5th's negative price action. Back in 1 day, we're back up to this area here. If we're looking at this on a 4-hour time frame, what we've done over the past 24 hours that we didn't do on this first attempt was we actually closed above where we found resistance before, here, right? Whenever we found support right here, we actually closed basically right at that area and came back down. Here, we're closing above this area and finding support where we found support before. The last time we found support here, we moved up like this, right? We found support in this area before, we moved up like this. We found support right here in the same area, and we moved up like that, all the way up to 118, 119K, 120K, something like that. We're at $115,000 now. If this area holds its support, and I think it will, we'll see. We'll divulge some information in a second. We should be moving up to 120K. And again, with the idea that this is a W pattern, that would at least, I mean, I would think that at least takes us above this high. If not, maybe this overall thing here is the W, in which case it takes us above this high. And if we get above 119.8K, you guys, the only thing that's going to be discussed for people in the crypto space at that point in time is going to be new all-time highs, because we take out that high, we're taking out this lower high structure that we have. It's game on. But we'll see. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then come back out. We'll look at these indicators here, okay? 1 hour time frame, 114.9K, dropping a little bit now. 1 hour RSI. We're going to throw a trend line on there and see that we are, let's see. Oh man. We have 15 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. Yeah, we're almost done with it. It would be nice, I think, to close it green. We're down $97, so I mean, in 15 minutes, we can absolutely move up that much, if not more. If this 1 hour can close green, I'm not saying, oh man, because I think it's bad that we're down here. I'm saying, oh man, because we're actually at a really good opportunity to bounce right here. If this 1 hour time frame closes green, all we have to do, again, is move up $97. I think it's probably a little bit more now. It looks like it just dropped. $125. Okay, all we have to do is stop going down, damn it. Move up from here. And then we get a bounce because the last 1 hour time frame closed right here, basically right at that line there. So if by the end of this hour, by the time you guys watch this, if this first hour of the new day has closed green, this hour here at 0 hour, if it comes back up and closes green, we'd be getting a bounce off of this trend line, the same trend line that's been holding us up since yesterday's lows. And perhaps what we do is we get into the overbought zone and we really do start to separate from, let's see, from this area of resistance here, taking this double top look and blowing through it, right? It looks like a double top now until it doesn't, right? Let's see here. That was me patting my cat, if anybody's wondering what that is. I have a cat. Well, I have 2 cats, but he's right here, and he likes the pats, so I give him the pats, man. Let's see. He's a good boy, huh? There's a field where I live. It's like literally my backyard, and they were plowing it today or mowing it down, you know, haying it, baling it. I don't know what the proper word is. I've baled hay before, but I don't know what the term is to actually like chopping it down. But I think he was scared and ready to be back inside because normally he likes to stay outside. But anyways, 114.8K right now. 1 hour time frame. RSI is in a position where it could or it couldn't. Let's see if it does. 12 minutes left. I know it seems it's only 12 minutes left in the hour. It's down this much. Oh, it can't come back up. But you guys, it's only down 125 bucks. It could absolutely go down a lot more before the hour's over, or come up and be up like $125 before the hour's over. So let's just wait and see. Sometimes that closing period really is decisive in where the direction goes. And I think if we close this green, that would be very, very indicative that we are moving higher. If we close here, maybe we do actually come down a little bit, but you know, we'll figure some stuff out for that in a second. Stochastics do look bearish at the moment, but we've been finding support in this area. We found some support back here in this area, and even some resistance here. Maybe we find support now. Again, I think it really does depend on this 1 hour time frame closing green. MACD at a point where it could bounce. Sometimes these little touch points are good for bounces right here, right? We're at a touch point right now, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I do like the idea that we're going to find support here at prior resistance, but time will tell. I'm not really swayed one way or another by the 1 hour, not until this candle closes, so we'll see. 4 hour, let's look at the 15-minute time frame. Maybe that'll help us out a little bit. 15-minute is bullish overall. You're at an area to bounce from, so maybe. Stochastics kind of look like they want to come down, but they don't have to. You do have bullish divergence on the stochastics, and your MACD is actually at an area where you'd expect it to bounce off the zero, and you do have, I think you have bullish divergence. You do. You have double bullish divergence on the MACD, actually, so I don't know. But it's not confirmed until you get a green candle, which this could be that one, man. I don't know. You got 10 minutes left. A lot can happen in 10 minutes, my friends. 4 hour time frame. Let's zoom out and look at this here. 4 hour RSI. You're at the same area, the exact same area here that you've been finding resistance at over the past, I mean, half a month, over half, almost a full month actually, right? Like 2/3 of a month you've been finding resistance in this area. So rejecting the 60, definitely a bearish implication there if we do reject it. I mean, if we can come back up, that'd be nice to see, but we have been held down by this area a lot over the past 2/3 of a month. We kind of have an M pattern here in the RSI as well, and that could, you know, bring us down to the oversold zone, something like that, and that would promote lower prices. Absolutely, it would. $106 now, not 125. We're moving up a little bit. Hi, Mufasa. Stochastics are more bullish than bearish, but if we start coming down, maybe not. MACD is in an area where it's like make it or break it. We could come up, man. Neither of these are being helpful. We're at a very critical moment right now, you guys. Critical to the bulls and to the bears. And there's at this point in time, there's just as many good things as there are bad things. I will say I did expect, you know, my most recent video that we would be going up above this high. But if we reject here, we get a double bottom or a double top. That would, you know, that'd put a damper on that idea, and perhaps we do move down. Ooh, let's see here, guys. Now we only got to move up $84, $125 to $84 there. 9 minutes left in this 4 hour time, or this 15-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame. Let's give some if-then statements. And I want to be clear as to what I think. I personally do think we're going to move up higher. That's what I think personally. But we're about 8 minutes away from potentially validating or invalidating that idea. And I really do think it hinges on the idea of this 1 hour time frame closing green. It might not. Sometimes weird things happen. Sometimes you do close outside of your uptrend. I mean, you still kind of have an uptrend in the RSI, right? You've got higher lows here still. But I just don't like that you broke out of it, right? But here you had an uptrend overall. You broke out of it, but it was still bullish. I mean, it doesn't mean that you necessarily that you have to go down. It might not hinge on that necessarily, but let's just look at the price levels themselves and take the RSI out of the equation. Okay, from a low to a high here. Finding support at the 786. Coming up like this, you're now finding support at the 236. I gotta admit, from a Fibonacci retracement point of view, that's bullish. That's not a bad thing. That's actually pretty damn bullish. I like it. It looks productive. It looks like you reversed. You were productive to the downside. You reversed here and started showing some productivity to the upside, and you're still doing it. I mean, maybe you go higher. It doesn't look bad, honestly. You look at the high to low. I mean, all we got to do effectively is take out these highs, and then we're moving up, you guys. 117, 118, 120, something like that, right? But to validate or invalidate the idea that we move higher, validate the idea that we move lower, I suppose what I'd want to see, or what I would need to see, are prices. If we get a 1 hour time frame, let's say a 4 hour time frame, to close below $113.8 thousand, then I'm potentially invalidated in the idea that we move higher, and instead it's very possible that we do go below this low at $112,000 there. To be extra safe, because Bitcoin has been so squirrely, let's be extra safe. Maybe we move that line down to about $113.3 thousand. And again, keep it at a 4 hour closing period instead of a 1 hour closing period for safety purposes. You know, time will tell. We'll see. But but I think 113.3K, if you close below there on a 4-hour time frame, yes, at that point in time, I would be bearish down to about 111 to 109.6 thousand dollars, something like that, or at the very least a double bottom with potentially a fake out potential, right? Some kind of slightly lower low, something below 112K, no doubt though, right? If we are to close a 4-hour time frame below 113.3 thousand dollars, okay, that's the idea there. We don't have to. We don't have to go lower, and I'm not thinking that we do, but I'm kind of wondering, man. 5 minutes left. I'm kind of wondering how this 1 hour is going to close. It could watch it close red, and then we still move up. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be. Maybe it's not that dramatic, but I would like to see it close green just for my own emotional security, I suppose. Time will tell. It does, in my opinion, from a price perspective, like if we're not looking at the indicators, it does look more bullish than bearish, I would say. But you had the volume, you closed above, you should be breaking out. Why aren't you breaking, right? Maybe it's because you're not breaking, maybe it's because you're faking, and if you're faking, down you go. We'll know soon enough, guys. I would say 113.8K. If we're below there on a 4-hour closing period, it's time to get very skeptical of the upside and very, very thoughtful of the downside. But if we're below 113.3K on a 4-hour closing basis, there's little doubt in my head that we would be going lower, and that this is, instead of a W pattern, this would be an M pattern. If you hate the headache, if you hate me saying, I don't know, it could do this or it could do that, I'm right there with you, man. It's at a critical point, so we have to stay open-minded to the idea that it could do either or, right? But at the moment, I'm definitely favoring the upside. I could be wrong. We'll see how it goes. If I'm right, we should be moving up. Let's just see. Let's get a standard retracement here. And again, we'll validate that we're moving up higher if we get above these highs, which should be very straightforward. We should be moving up to a price of about $118.7 to $119.6 thousand at the golden ratio there, which, surprise, surprise, comes in line very well with these areas of resistance here. It would even provide a lower high, still giving that skepticism of, oh, we're still in a downtrend, now we're going to come down lower, and maybe we do. You never know. But I got nothing else for you guys. As much as I'd like to just continue to talk for 4 more minutes to wait to see how this hour closes, I'm not going to do that. At this point in time, it does seem as though it might be closing red. But again, all hope is not lost just because it's closing red. We do still have higher lows. I just don't like that you're breaking the trajectory here. Typically does not mean always, but typically whenever you do that, that is a signal that you go lower. But not always. You know, we did that here. Broke this trajectory and you still moved up, right? And if you look at the price action as a result, I guess actually, hey, you did go lower. you did go lower there. That's not always the case, though. I'm trying to find an example of that. But that's a prime reason why it's not ideal. Here, you know, you had an uptrend right here, and you broke that trajectory, and all you did was move sideways, and then you moved up still. And inevitably you went down, but you still moved up rather immediately. So time will tell. All in all, guys, I think that we're going to see some very, very bullish things over the coming weeks. We're looking to validate this low, and the way that we do that is by moving higher. I think it's $116.8 thousand. That's the price that we're looking for to validate this low. $116.1 thousand, my bad. No, that's not right. That's not right. Let's see. 118.7 sounds more right. 118.7. Let's see. Low to high. 116.8. I had it right the first time. Once we close a day above $116.8 thousand, we validate this as a low, and then it's time to start thinking about prices at 140K or higher. I got nothing else. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care of yourselves, all right? Bye-bye.